What's up, guys? Welcome to Prestige Catfish, and today I got something new and exciting to share with you guys. We're going to do a small little series for all you fishermen who are just getting started out or have questions about your gear, so stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back. And today I'm going to start a new series, and this is the first episode of the series. The series is called Shifting into the Right Gear, and we're going to focus on all the gear you need to get into or to look at when you're going to start your catfishing adventures. So I get a lot of questions on YouTube and on my Facebook page and on my website asking about gear. You know, what should I use? Should I use this? Should I use that? Rods, reels, things of that nature. So we're going to break this down into 5 segments, okay? And today is the first episode called Getting Hooked Up. And we're going to look at the different hooks that you're going to need when you start your catfishing adventure, okay? So without further ado, let's get into it. And the first hook that we're going to get into is just your simple everyday J hook right there. That's just a regular hook that everybody uses when you first start fishing out. J hooks are used for anything from putting on worms to crickets to things of that nature. Now in catfishing, they can be used a multitude of different ways. You can put them right on your line, and they're mostly I use J hooks for if I'm just small channel, small blues. You know, we talking box fish. We talking 1 to 2 pounds. If you're just going for quantity over quality, and you don't care what size fish you catch, you just want to catch fish, and you want to use small baits like, you know, worms, crickets, grasshoppers, things of that nature, a J hook is what I use. Like I say, it's the most profound hook out there that everybody knows. Now, however, I do use J hooks on the different types of rod and reels too. So with being putting on worms and things like that, I use most of my J hooks not for catfishing, but for catching bait. Say if I'm having trouble catching bait or finding bait, or I've tore up my cast net, I'll just throw a J hook with a bobber and a worm on a line and throw it out there and catch brim with it. And then I use the brim to cut up for cut bait and things like that. So I personally don't use J hooks for catfishing, but I use them in catfishing as to catch bait. Now you can, you know, starting off, you know, you want to get the feel of it, by all means, J hooks will work just fine. You just mainly set the hook on them and they're good to go. So that's that. The second most type of hook that's going to be used with catfishing is your treble hooks. And right here, just a treble hook, just a 3-sided treble hook right there. Hold it upside down. Now what treble hooks are used for is they're going to be used for all your dough baits and your punch baits and your soft baits for catfishing. Once again, you're usually going after box eaters type fish, you know, or smaller catfish. I use treble hooks for if I'm doing any kind of hot dog baits or maybe chicken livers or chicken hearts, anything that'll fly off the hook easily when you cast out. I use a treble hook for it. So once again, I use them for livers, hot dogs if I'm fishing with those when I was doing that, dough baits, punch baits, things like that. So that's what treble hooks are used for, and they're highly successful in that area too. Now, like I said, you're gonna catch mostly, you know, 1 to 3 or 4 pound catfish with those, so nothing too, you know, big or heavy. Now with treble hooks, remember also, most of your hooks sizes go up with the number, meaning the bigger the number, the bigger the size hook. Like, say for instance, a size 4-ounce hook is going to be smaller than a size 8-ounce hook in regular hooks and J hooks and circle hooks, things like that. But in treble hooks, remember that the sizes are backwards. The smaller the size is, the bigger the hook. For example, an 8 size treble hook is pretty small. Actually, I think this is an 8 right here. And a 2 size treble hook is pretty big. So just remember, when we're talking hook sizes and treble hooks, you actually got to flip them around. The smaller the number, the bigger the hook. So those are good applications, like I said, catching box fish, eater fish, things like that too. Now, my favorite type of hook, and most hooks that you will see when you're going after bigger catfish, and what most hooks that you will see, you know, professional anglers using and most everyday people using, or they're gonna recommend, is the C hook, okay? Circle hook or a C hook right here. Or it's called an offset hook, or it's called, you know, you get a little bit longer, longer hook right here with a little bit slighter angle on it. It's called a KO hook. These are the hooks right here that are most used with catfishing. And the reason because is you can put the bait on there pretty good. They get really, really big. And a circle hook or a KO hook or offset hook will actually do a lot of the work for you when you're casting out and you're waiting. So the thing with a circle hook is when a fish takes the hook like so, when it bites the hook, what it's made to do is you're made not to actually set the hook, but you're supposed to have the rod and the rod holder if it's in your hand. And when you see the rod load up, you're supposed to reel down on the reel, okay? And then what that does is when the catfish pulls, it'll take the bait and it'll turn it like so, and then you actually catch it in the side of their mouth, which makes it easier to come out too. Most of the time that's how it's done. It's not gonna always work like that. But that is my favorite size, okay? And like I say, you can get them in different sizes also. Like this right here is a size 5 ounce right here. And that's good for anywhere from 1 to, you know, up to 10 pounds worth of catfish right there. Now you might say that's kind of a big hook even for a 1 pounder, but yeah, they will get their mouth on it and they will get on it and they get hooked. Now when I'm going for bigger catfish or trophy catfishes, right here is what I use. This is a size 8 ounce right here, Team Catfish size 8 ounce hook right here. And that's when I'm going for my bigger fish, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds big like that. Now they do go up to like size 10, but I find 8 is a good in between right here. So usually when I'm fishing, I have different rods set up with different baits. So I have a couple of rods with the 5 ounce weight, the 5 ounce hook, and then I have a couple of rods with the size 8 hook, and then I have different baits on them. Of course, the 5 is going to have a little smaller cut baits, and the 8 is going to have larger cut baits, and I set them out there like that to see what gets the most action off of them, and whatever gets the most action, that's when I kind of, you know, start putting on all my lines. So that right there is a good starting point for you with 3 of the main hooks that you might need. You got your J hook, you got your treble hook, and then you got your C hook or your offset hook or your circle hook or KO hook. So that's a good place to start, and make sure you get good hooks too, okay? A lot of hooks are bend, a lot of hooks are not made the same. Some of them have open eyes that catches your line and might break it off right there. But I love Team Catfish. Okay, that's my favorite hooks to use, Team Catfish. They don't rust, they're super strong, they're super strong. I never had a catfish actually being a straight one out, and I've seen that happen before, but that's just my preference, okay? So that's a good starting point for your hooks. If you have any questions or any comments, please put them down low. I love to hear from you guys. Love to bounce ideas back and forth. And thanks for watching, and be on the lookout for the second episode coming out pretty soon. Thank you guys.